Yeah, I'd never heard of the Breck Forum either. I actually had to look it up. And here's what their own website had to say about the Breck Forum. The Breck Forum is a place for people who are working for social justice. Keywords, please look this up, especially if you go to church. Look for these two words on your church's website. Danger. Social justice, equality, and a new culture that puts human needs first. Okay, that sounds good. Now here's what they said about me at their forum.
On one hand, we have people like Glenn Beck, right, what we'll call the fascist hordes, and they are out there, and they are genuinely dangerous. You know, I don't think this is a crowd that we need to engage in that discussion, but when you look at him, you say, that is my enemy. There's no confusion about that. This person thinks some people are not invested with rights.
No. No, they're right about the first part. I am absolutely their enemy. I am an enemy of communism. Yeah. But I believe people have rights. I'm happy to have him speak out anytime he wants. I don't care. I mean, just let the American people decide. I just wish their progressive friends and allies would do the same thing. Come out of the shadows. Have the bravery that this man had. Tell us your true agenda. Now, that's how they feel about me. But here's what they said about my new belated Valentine, Van Jones, and it breaks my heart.
I never considered Van Jones left. I've actually always considered him a moderate.
Wow. The communist revolutionary, moderate. The friends or allies of progressives, communists, consider Van Jones an avowed communist, moderate. The dangerous aspect that shouldn't be ignored here is that the vision of these people is a little dark and spooky. The vision they have for America. It's not one shared by our founders. Remember I showed you this? Republic. Progressives take step by step into bigger government, and then you end up with either, as he called me, Hitler, because he thinks I don't want to give you rights. I do. I don't care if they get to stop. You can yap all you want. Fascism or communism. Okay? It's not consistent with the Constitution. They cannot coexist with the Republic, the Constitution, and communism. No. Fascism and the Constitution? No. I want you to listen to the agenda of Jed Brandt. Who is Jed Brandt? Now, that was actually a question for you. I have no idea. I mean, I couldn't even find a Wikipedia page for him, so I'm just going to call him Jed Brandt, a bald communist. Here he is, out in the open, and that's all I ask. Watch.
I don't think we're going to be meeting people's day-to-day needs, and I don't think we have to help this capitalist system, which has met the needs of American working people on the backs of third-world plantations for my whole lifetime. We don't have to help that. We have to help bring this government down. We have to help destroy this system, and that requires increasing the alienation that working class and oppressed people feel. The way change is going to happen in this country is through the destruction of what we call the United States of America, and we're not going to do it. It's happening because grand centripetal forces are doing it on its own. When Obama says that there will not be health care for illegal immigrants, and I might add, abortion, what he is saying, right, very clearly, is that America always has 10% of its population enslaved. When the Dred Scott decision said that the black man has no rights, the white man is bound to respect, as we know, we can change the definition of what whiteness means. Right? And I'll just speak here as a white man. I don't often do this in left-wing situations, but I'm opposed to white supremacy not because it's white people involved. I'm opposed to the system that we traditionally call imperialism and the idea that some people have rights and privileges that are not granted to all human beings. And the solution to that problem is called communism and socialism, and we should put it in our mouths. We should say it when we say, what is your politics? I am a socialist. I demand that we have health care for people, and it's not a demand that's negotiable with insurance companies. We will take your insurance companies. We will take the farms in this country. We will shut down the military apparatus in this country, and I'm tired of being told to stuff my anger back in my pants. It's got to end.
I don't want to know any more about his pants. There's a lot here. First, he says that they have to help bring this government down. Nancy Pelosi, you should tell him to watch his speech. I've never heard anything like that at a Tea Party. It's almost like we were right when we said the danger is really from the left, the extreme left. He has to help destroy this system that requires increasing the alienation that the working classes and the oppressed feel. Well, how is he going to bring that about? He says they don't have to. What was it? Grand centripetal forces are doing it on their own? Isn't that the thing with the bucket and the water? He doesn't spell everything out. He spells absolutely everything out that we've been saying about this movement right in that one Soundbite. They're using Cloward and Piven, overwhelm the system, to destroy it. He claims they need to increase the alienation of the working class and oppressed. How are you going to do that? Well, you need to convince, that some people are more miserable than they actually are. You have to pit the haves against the have-nots. You have to have class warfare. You have to put a bigger burden on our already overworked system and then just sit back and watch the whole thing collapse. So what's his solution after it collapses? Oh, he'll make sure that people have the rights they deserve. Ooh. Communism will. That's the system that will provide maximum freedom to all. Jed, let me ask you a question. Have you ever heard of Joe Stalin?
FDR doesn't have to apologize for Jim Crow, but we have to apologize for what Joseph Stalin did? Well,
yeah.
I haven't killed anyone. All I've done is fight for free speech and expanding the realm of possibility, and we should claim our movements and fight for them frontally.
This goes to, the Founding Fathers were all racist. Well, it's a horrible system. Yeah. The Founding Fathers never said we have to kill 20% of the population. Marx has. He's heard of Stalin before, but apparently he didn't learn from him. Or Mao, or Lenin, or Pol Pot, or Fidel Castro, or Hugo Chavez. None of them. Name the free speech communist regime. Name one. One that hasn't jailed or murdered dissidents by the tens of thousands, or in some cases millions. Name one. Each of those communist socialist regimes have put human needs first? Really? Human needs, human rights come from communists. Let's listen to Jed's plan again.
When we say, what is your politics? I am a socialist. I demand that we have health care for people, and it's not a demand that's negotiable with insurance companies. We will take your insurance companies. We will take the farms in this country. We will shut down the military apparatus in this country, and I'm tired of being told to stuff my anger back in my pants.
Okay, Jed again, I mean, please stop talking about what's stuffed in your pants. I don't want to know anything about your pants. But I am happy to hear about the rights you'd like to take from insurance companies, the rights you'd like to take from farmers. That sounds familiar. And you'd let us completely at the mercy of our own friends, the communists and in China and the Russians and the terrorists. You'd let us just have the rights to, what, be slaughtered because we have no military apparatus at all? I know it sounds like crazy talk to talk about communists because, I mean, you got to be kidding me. It's not about communists. Never has been about communists either. Really hadn't. That guy's a lunatic fringe. Just like the white supremacists on the other side. Right here. This side, up and down, communists and fascists. Those people are crazy. This is about progressivism. And most people, they're in here. When they say they're a progressive, they don't think they're headed here, but progress, baby steps. You're moving towards something. You're moving towards one of these. This is why they called George Bush a fascist, because progressives know what's at the end of the progressive road. Whether it's Nazis or communists, someone has to control your life. Someone will be at the controls. Communists would like it to be them. Nazis are rooting for their side. I'm not rooting for any side. I'm rooting for this side. Wrong side of the scale, guy. This is a war for your rights, your free agency to choose for yourself. This has been a battle that has been raging since the beginning of time. There have been those who've wanted to take your right to choose away from you. Choose your own destiny. They may want to do it because they want to control you, or just because they want to help you. Here in America, if you read history, you know that communism has been on the progressive left. Communism on the progressive left for 100 years, from 1938. Let me show you this page from Rhode Island, 1938, Progress and Democracy. It says, the reason the communists and the progressives failed for 100 years ago is that we were too out in the open. Too out in the open. Democracy. Democracy has always played an important role in the history of Rhode Island. Wait until I show you the rest of this and what's in the very back. It's important.